Hello, Scorpio. My name is Paul, and this is Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask that you connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And if there is anything you need me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right? And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with a 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Discs. A lot of change going on in the world right now, right? A lot of uncertainty. A lot of things might feel kind of unstable at the moment. Okay? Things feel uncertain, a lot of variables. Let's put it into some context. 3 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, Knight of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. Oh, we did it. Look at that. I've never seen this one before. We've got all major arcana on the path of the Serpent. Major, 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 major. And these are pretty major ones, too. There's no major arcana. I was kind of thinking maybe we wouldn't get any at all. There are no major arcana on the path of the Dove, but then, boom, we've got 4 in a row. That doesn't happen. I've never seen that before. Well, let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We'll put Mr. Tao, the yin-yang duck, right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. So you have to stick around, right? And hopefully that card will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. We're also doing something a little different on this channel. If at any point during the reading you get an idea, a sense, a feeling, an inkling of what that card is, I want you to type your prediction in the comment section. Okay? I want to see if we can collectively raise our vibrations, tap into spirit, into source, into our own intuition, and start discerning that mystery card together, okay? But first, let's look at this again. We've got 4 major arcana. Again, this never happens. We don't have any fire. We do have our water. We have a little bit of air, and we've got a lot of earth, right? A lot of earth. Now, this is kind of, right away with this earth energy, I guess we'll start with this because this is the first card that came out, 5 of Pentacles. There is this uncertainty, right? Maybe this is a lot of distractions, a lot of worry, a lot of variables, just a lot going on in the world, right? Turmoil, frustrations, right? Anxiety. I think that we are really in need of some kind of reassurance from the universe. Right? That things are going to improve, that things are going to turn around, right? That we are just maybe in a lull and things are going to get better. I think that we're focused on the long term, right? Because we ultimately want this 10 of Pentacles. This is underneath the surface. This is wealth. 10 of Pentacles, we ask the question, if you had to draw a picture of your best life, your ideal world, what would you draw? What would be this picture, right? I kind of feel like all this major arcana, I feel like you would draw basically this, right? You would draw kind of unlimited possibilities. You would draw maybe the landscape that you want, right? You want a house, you want some land or whatever. This is the physical location, right? You would have opportunity to grow, to hone your skills, to learn new things, to expand your mind and your knowledge and your experience. You would have a partnership, but you would also have your independence. You would have, relationships and family, but you would also have time for introspection, right? You would have all the time. This is the universe card. This is ruled by Saturn, has the connection with Chronos, with time. You would have all the time in the world to grow, to connect, and to introspect, right? connect and introspect. And expand your mind and your knowledge and your experience, right? Your powers, your magical abilities. This is really nice. I have not seen this before. So anyway, back to the path of the dove, because this is the difficulty. This is what we're trying to work through so that we can have all of this. I think we need to focus on the long term, right? I think we have to keep in mind what this ideal best life is. Take positive steps now in order to realize this. Okay, there is some uncertainty here. There are variables. Could be a situation where we need to communicate clearly. We have a 10 of Swords in the recent past. And this could be maybe a breakdown of communication that has led to some of this uncertainty and some of this worry and some of this anxiety. Okay. And with the 10 of Swords, it's given me that feeling of the breakdown of communication. And so I kind of feel like we have to start over. We have to figure out how to communicate clearly our feelings, right? The 3 of Cups, abundance. We understand the process of creation on the emotional plane, right? And since we understand the process, we know that communication is a really big part of creating the kind of emotional environment we want. Right? Feeling and communicating, we need to have that. Right? And we see that on the path of the Serpent too. We've got the communication, this is the Libra energy, the partnership. But we have to do the introspection. We have to know ourselves. We have to know what we truly want, how we feel, who we are, so that we can really form lasting connections with people. Okay? So we see a breakdown in communication, just means we've got to start over. We've got to clear the deck and we have to begin again. And we have to try to communicate in a way that is loving and kind and compassionate and grateful. Because I think, honestly, everybody's experiencing a little bit of this 5 of Pentacles, right? So it's like this, because we all are on this unstable ground, I think the whole world right now is on this unstable ground. It's even more important for us to communicate our love and kindness. Use these frustrations too. Use this uncertainty and this worry and this anxiety to motivate you to continue taking steps in the positive direction. Right? We want this 10 of Pentacles life. What can we do right now? What can we do today and tomorrow to work toward that? Well, one thing we can do is express our love and our gratitude and our kindness and our affection. Here is the Knight of Cups. This is a very emotional gesture. This is the offering of a gift to someone. Right? Something from the heart, something spontaneous, not a lot of thought here. It's fire and water. It's the impulse to do it and you present your gesture. This is also the same thing being offered to you. And if somebody offers you something, we're not going to just sit there and think, should I take it? No, somebody's offering you something, you accept it spontaneously. You just, as a natural reaction, you welcome it, right? So this is fire and water. This is not our mind, our personality kind of getting in the way, finding differences, finding a reason, right, to not give and not receive love. Our mind will interfere. Our mind will say, well, this person doesn't agree with what I agree with. They kind of looked at me funny. I don't like the way they talk or the words they use. We have differences of opinion. The mind will find a reason, right? The why. Why should I? Why should I not? Well, this card bypasses that. It's a gesture. It's a spontaneous act of love and kindness. The spontaneous just receiving of that when it's offered to you. And I think this is kind of where we're trying to go with things. And I think this is how we're trying to incorporate that into our process of creation on the emotional plane, right? How do we create the kind of emotional environment that we want? Well, in large part with that Knight of Cups. There's not a lot of air energy in this reading. The air that we've been using hasn't worked. Communication has broken down. We've realized that we don't need to ask ourselves why. Why should I? Why should I not? Just do it as you feel it, right? A lot of water and earth here. Not a lot of room for ego. Right? It's water and earth. It's yielding. It's magnetic. It's receptive. And I think this is very important. It's a going with the flow. It is being natural, letting the water flow where it wants to flow. We don't need an ego or this air energy to kind of get in the way and try to redirect the flow of that water. Right? We don't have to ask questions. We just let it flow, you know. And the Two of Pentacles, of course, that means we have to spin the yes or no coin, all right? I'm not going to flip the coin because I've got lights and cameras and stuff up there. But anytime we get a Two of Pentacles on this channel, we are going to ask the yes or no question. So I want you to formulate a question either out loud or in your mind. You don't have to put it in the comments unless you want to. And I will spin this coin and we will get an answer to our question. So take a moment now and formulate that question to yourself. Okay. And we'll go ahead and spin. Well, the answer is yes, and it landed on our Libra. Libra is the card here of our evaluations, of our judging things, of our, and not judging like intellectually, not with the swords really, but valuing things, right? Valuing the connections. It is being discerning, yes. So we need discernment. We need a little bit of this air, but this is major arcana air. This is kind of the spontaneous bonds with people, right? This is making connections with people that share a common ground with us, and maybe that common ground happens to be this Five of Pentacles. This is the understanding that we are all essentially the same, and this is connecting with people on a level that is much deeper than just politics and religion and location and culture and all that stuff. It's on a deeper human level, right? That we are finding value in our relationships, that we are connecting and forming bonds with people, forming relationships with people that are founded on something much deeper than that surface level stuff, okay? And the answer is yes. Whatever your question was, the answer is yes. Now, that being said, I don't think we should be expecting other people to intuit our needs, right? We're understanding what goes into creating this best life, creating the type of emotional environment that we want. And we understand that communication is a big part of this, right? So we have to both listen and speak. Right? We have to communicate our needs. We also have to listen to the needs of others, you know. And I think this leads us over to the path of the serpent. We start with the universe or the world card. This is kind of, this is the common ground too, in a way, right? This is the idea that we are all the same underneath everything. Right? Stripping the world down to its basic energies, the basic elements of life. We're all made out of the same stardust, you know. We're all living on the same planet, I think. So we all have a connection that way. We're all part of the same species here, I think. And I feel like this is the recognition of that. This is the real feeling of that we are all connected. We are all one world. Yeah. I forgot to do the Botanical inspirations card. For the 10 of Swords, anytime we get a 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Swords, we're going to do the Botanical inspirations cards. These are some really fun, I don't know if they're oracle cards or just inspiration cards, really. So because we've got that 10 of Swords, maybe this card can shed some light on our communication. The Iris, rainbows and messages. Well, it is communication. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. I love that. It is all about communication, right? So that's a very poignant card. When it rains, look for rainbows. So when the world is in turmoil, when our life is in turmoil, let's look for rainbows. Let's look for connections. Let's look for that spiritual energy that's going to connect all of us. Let's look for the right kind of connections. Let's look for love, right? Abundance. Let's look for that connection. It's needed more now than ever before. And it's maybe regrettable that it takes this kind of stress and worry and turmoil in the world to bring people closer together, but, you know, whatever it takes, I guess. And since this is the situation, and we've got the universe card or the world card, this card kind of says that, hey, things are how they are, and we can't undo things. We can take positive steps. We can act locally while thinking globally, right? We can do just what, by raising our own vibrations, we can collectively raise the vibrations of the entire world, the entire universe. But we can't change what is happening in the world right now. Everything is as it is. So there's a certain acceptance that comes with this card. So we might as well use this as an opportunity to connect. And the more we can connect and commit ourselves to our world and to each other and to ourselves, then maybe we can, raise the level of consciousness, raise our vibrations. Yeah. And I feel like this is the kind of stuff that's on your mind right now. It seems like it's on all of our minds. This feels more like a collective reading than just a Scorpio reading, but maybe others will see this and gain something from it. Speaking of communication with the environment, here is that Mercury energy, the magician, the magus, the illusionist, the trickster, the juggler. And this is communication. This is the opportunity for us to share information, to exchange knowledge, right? To exchange culture, to learn about things that we don't know anything about. This is the plasticity of the mind. This is us able to learn. You can learn new things, right? I don't know if you know that. We can always learn. And I think it's through this that we can bond with others too, by showing an interest in what other people are about. This card's in the position of our relationships and the timing. Maybe it's time for us to learn about something, learn about another person that we don't know anything about, right? Let's connect with others. And it takes communication too. We have to figure out how to communicate. How do you learn about other people? How do you talk to somebody else in a way that they can kind of feel what you need, what you mean, what you need, and what you're trying to do, right? Are we coming at people in a certain way that makes people feel defensive? Or do we have a more kind of inviting Three of Cups kind of energy where we want to share, we want to have this giving and receiving, both of the water energy, the emotional element, and the information, the knowledge, the sharing of wisdom. Right? I want to learn about you. I want to learn about your culture. And that, I think, is how we connect. That's how we network, and the entire world can be connected, you know? Yeah, I think it's really about connection here today, especially with this Libra energy. This is us. These two cards together really have a strong component of self-analysis here, introspection. Right? This is us kind of, with the Libra energy, with the Justice or Adjustment card, this is us seeing ourselves. This is when we're out in the world, interacting with the world. Are you observing yourself? Do you see how you are acting out, the things you say, what you do, who you talk to, the things you avoid, the things you gravitate toward? And this is us starting to observe ourselves. It's what Gurdjieff would call self-remembering. All right, it's not just you plus the environment, but it bounces back to you again. It's you and the environment and then back to you, almost like you're looking at yourself from outside. You're looking at yourself from the position of the other person, kind of thing, you know. And I think this helps us to make adjustments within ourselves, adjust the way we interact with the world so that we can form the kind of bonds that we want, that we need, that we feel, okay? And the Hermit energy, that's pretty straightforward. This is the introspection. This is us understanding who we are inside of ourselves, finding our own inner light, realizing all of this. All of this that we're talking about has to take place within you. And then you go off into the world and do it, you know. But first we need to activate these energies in ourselves. We need the introspection. We need to find our lamp. And that is the light of our spirit within us. And that will allow us, that lamp will allow us to see all of this. It's hard not to be deeply affected by everything going on in the world. You know, let's look at the mystery card, though. Let's see what Mr. Tao, the I Ching duck, or not the I Ching duck, the Yin Yang duck. We didn't get to do an I Ching. Oh, you know what we do? We have to do our I Ching card. Thank you, Mr. Tao. Mr. Tao reminded me. We have to do an I Ching card because we have the Magus and the Hermit. Anytime on this channel, anytime we get the Fool, the Magus, the Hermit, or the Hierophant, we have to do an I Ching card. We could technically do two of them, one for the Magician, one for the Hermit, but I think one card might cover both bases. So we'll see. We'll see. There we go. 29, repeating chasms. That's danger on danger, right? It's calamity. It is the feeling like we are kind of falling into a crevasse here with this Five of Pentacles, right? That things are just getting worse, that things are, there's danger that's mounting, right? Repeating chasms. There is truth and confidence. A connected heart creates success. Movement brings honor. So the way through this calamity is by connecting hearts, right? Connecting with others. That's how we pull ourselves out of this danger, right? This hexagram is made up of 2 trigrams. Each one represents danger. It's a pit. It's mounting danger, right? Sometimes you fall into the swirling, unknowable dark, and the only way forward is to accept the truth of the present moment and trust your inner knowing, right? This is Libra. This is the truth and justice kind of energy, right? Accept the truth of the present moment and trust your inner knowing. Stay in communication with your heart and creative source. Then movement forward shows courage and commitment, as well as a test of your convictions. What are you sure of in your heart when nothing else is certain, and how can you flow on and through the dark? The I Ching never disappoints. I'm always in awe of the I Ching. It's always right on point with the reading. This exactly encapsulates the reading. I don't know what else to say. It's always the perfect card for what we're talking about. Now we can look at this mystery card. It's almost overwhelming how on the mark the I Ching is, you know. But this is the point of the reading where I'll ask you to connect with these cards, with these images. Let's see if we can discern this mystery card, right? Let's raise our vibrations up. I'm going to have a sip of my lemon water. Delicious. And let's see. What is this card going to be? Maybe it'll be another world card. Maybe it will be some good swords energy, good communication. Maybe it will be a 9 or a 10 of cups, right? That's what we ultimately want. We want our best life. We want to feel reassured. We want to feel good. We want to feel joy in the world again, you know? Maybe a 9 or a 10 of cups here. No. This is, I don't know. Did I say it out loud, the Empress? I was thinking Empress as my first. This, again, kind of just go with your gut, right? Whatever your first intuition is, that's usually the answer. I should have just said Empress. But yeah, this is kind of the world coming back to life. You know, this is everything healing. This is everything being connected. These roots traverse the entire globe, right? We're all connected, not only through the earth, but through spirit too, right? But I think this is focusing on that kind of the more earthy part of it. All of our roots are connected, you know. We all live in this vast garden, and we're all interacting with each other. We're all just trying to grow, right, and reach to the sun. But our roots are intertwined. Sometimes our leaves and stems are intertwined too. I think this is a good confirmation. This makes me feel better. It makes me feel like we are on the path to healing and connecting and realizing our unity. Realizing our unity. Now we're going to do an extended reading, Scorpio. If you want to stick around, click either above or below in the video description. New readings for Scorpio every Wednesday and Sunday. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. I want you to remember, Scorpio, that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you. And we're all in this together.